Alright, I'm going to go over quickly how to create a form in Presence and go over a few of the options for doing that. First of all, you need to log in. So start off with login. You'll sign in with your UNA portal, and once you get logged in, it looks the same. Remember, you will have to go to the admin dashboard. If by chance you do not have this as an option, it means you're not an admin, so you need to contact Student Engagement to be able to do that. Go to the admin dashboard, and you can go to the create or to forms, either one. So if I go to create and do a new form, it says let's build a form. So a couple of quick things. First of all, go to settings and you want to name your form. So if you're doing RSVP for, let's say, ice cream social. And so if you've created a category, you can decide if it's a RSVP. I've got my RSVPs in a category. That's a different place. You can look on down here under support and look up the article about creating form categories. It just helps organize. But anyways, you don't have to do that. Active, make sure it's active so that it does display. And so then you will simply create some fields. Before I do that, I like to go ahead and make sure that I have settings correct. So responses, this button decides what the title of each response will be. So once we get a field, it defaults to whatever the first question is. So if it's the person's name, that's how the forms are going to be organized on the backside. Visibility, so do you need to require people to log in or anonymous? So I generally do require a login. That way you know exactly who's filling out the form. There will have to be a student or someone with a UNA email. Otherwise, if it's going to be folks that are outsiders, I would not do the require login. But for these purposes, do require login. Respond from admin. This allows them to respond from this orange side that we're looking at, orangish red side. Changes colors according to what time of day it is. But it means if they're logged in as admins, they can see it. It's attached to an organization. So if I want to attach it to, Student Engagement Center. That way it will only attach on, or that way it will be attached to my organization portal. So I'll pull that up in a little bit, but so you can see student engagement. So it'll actually be a form located here. You can see there's certain forms. Then, so if I wanted to require membership, only people that are with it are members of Student Engagement can see it. Campus-wide, not everyone has that option. If there's something that is campus-wide, you can potentially if you add Student Engagement as an owner, you can post it. Availability. So if it's an RSVP and you only have 30 spots, then this is where you would put your number of responses. So no more than 30 people would be able to fill out this form. When does it start? It starts today, available until, so let's say RSVP closes October 2nd, 9:59 a.m. Access simply shows who can edit the form. So this is not like some other platforms. Only people who create the form can do it. So if this needs to be shared, you need to give other people access now. So you can do it user, role, or member type. So if it's a role, then it could be determined by an organization. If there's their organization administrator, whatever. So organization administrator of Student Engagement Center. What does organization administrator mean? Well, if you transition officers, if you use transition and do officer and update officers on the roster, then all those and advisors will be given organization admin status. Otherwise, they do not automatically just as officers. So you can decide if they want to edit and share. So you can add right. So now it's not just me, but it's anyone who's an admin of the Student Engagement Center. And you can do different kind of roles. So if you want to do user, then you can define certain people, like Tyler Thompson is the owner. That's my user. So then the other thing is member type, and that determines if you want to just have it for the president of certain organizations. So let's say student government. So whoever's in that role will always have access to this form. So there's a few different ways you can give access, but I generally always make sure you give someone else access to your form for the future. And this is approvals and workflow, so you can do a lot more things with this. I'm not going to go into that, but here's your form settings. So those are the basic pieces that you want. You add fields. So if it's the RSVP, I keep it really simple. So text. So that would be, oops. Alright, you slide it over. When it turns blue, you know that it has gone over. If you do small, you're able to put small or extra small, you're able to put more than one item on a line. So text field. So you can go in and edit. Text field comes over. So this is going to be name. I tend to do first and last name. Sometimes I'll do that separately because it comes out as a Excel. So see that, small, required. Then you can add another one. Do small. You can put them right next to each other. Text field. First name. Have that required. Email. And so, limit to domain would only be at una.edu. Confirm means it doubles. You have to put it in twice. Check if it's a valid person. Just checks to see if it's an actual email. So they'll ping that address. And conditionals, you can put all those in different forms. So this is a really simple way just to create an RSVP. And so if you want to put more information up here, you can add a content tab, and that may be, you click here to start editing, you create an editor, and so please complete this form to sign up for the social. And so this may be where I put the information. Social is October 20th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the GUC Performance Center. So it gives more information, and then you can also look and see if we go back to form settings. These are the general settings. Then under responses, so response title, you can do last name, first name, or email. These are so it'll just show up as their last name. Or if you want to do an email field, that may be better. Success message, your RSVP has been submitted. This gets emailed to whoever filled it out. And so if you want to reiterate, the social is at 1 p.m. GUC Performance Center. This email and your admission ticket. and so they can show this to you on their phone to show they're on the form that they RSVP'd. Of course, you can always look things up. That's an easy way to create a form. And so I hit save, and it'll be published for a certain amount of time. But if you want to take it down and make it unpublished, but you don't want to delete, you can go in and change it to a draft. So, or from active to a draft. That way it's not going to show up. Allow revisions. If they're signed in, they can go in and change the answers to things. So that's an option if you've required people to log in. And then the other thing is on the front side, anytime you fill out a form, so now if we reload this, since the engagement center, that's where I attached it, and it's not going to show up because I did just change it to draft. So if we go to active, save. Anytime you fill out a form and it is on Presence and you're logged in, it saves your info. So I want to submit this, and then I can go to my profile. Every student can do this profile and look at responses. And so responses. So you can see I can look and see what I clicked and filled out here. And see, oh yep, I did sign up for the ice cream social. So everyone can do that, whether they do have to be logged in, but that's why you log in. And even if you don't have the admin side, you can look at your profile from this side, and you can see the timeline, membership, organizations, things like that, and get a visual of what all you're involved with. But also see what have I filled out, what have I not. And you can always, sort things out by what you signed up. So that's a quick overview of the forms. You can go back and find your forms by clicking the Forms tab, and you can look up My Forms and search. So that will lead you to the ones that you created. As I said, you can create a form category to organize. You have to do that ahead of time, but if you're going to be using this a lot, you're going to have RSVPs, or there's certain things that you want to organize, this is where you would do it. Just hit plus, and you can create a new category. Lots of different options you can customize, whatever works for you. Hope that helped. If you have any questions, reach out, 256-765-4248, and then studentengagement@una.edu.